There can be no question as to who is the reaper of the harvest of the earth. It is the Son of Man, Christ himself. He was the sower, and he shall be the reaper. This is not the harvest of the church that was harvested in chapters 4 and 5, and the reapers were the angels. Matthew 13:39. This is the harvest of the Gentile nations in Joel chapter 3, verses 9 through 17. We have a description of this harvest and vintage. The harvest and vintage are judicial. That is, they are for the purpose of judgment. The account here is anticipative. It looks forward to chapter 16, verses 13 through 16, which speaks of how the armies of the world are to be gathered together by 3 unclean spirits to the battle of the great day of God Almighty at Armageddon. This battle takes place after the fall of Babylon and is more fully described in chapters 19, 17 through 19. Here we are told that the harvest is ripe, and the Son of Man is commanded to thrust in his sickle, which he does. And while the pouring out of the vials is a part of the reaping, the harvest is not finished until the end of the Battle of Armageddon. The difference between the harvest and the vintage is that the harvest in the natural world precedes the vintage, but often, as in this case, continues until they become one. Very interesting right there. The vintage is of the vine of the earth. Israel was a vine brought out of Egypt and planted in Canaan. But when God looked for it to bring forth good grapes, it brought forth wild grapes and fruit unto itself. When the Lord of the vineyard sent his servants for the fruit of the vineyard, the husbandman beat one, killed another, and stoned another. Oh, how nice. At last he sent his son. Him they took and cast out of the vineyard and slew. Then Jesus himself became the true vine, of which his disciples are the branches. The vine of the earth is the Antichrist and all who belong to his pernicious system. You got it? Good.